Vocal Media is one of those websites that pay to write content. And if you don't have your own blog or don't want to get into content mills, it's a great place to practice. This is one of many sites around the internet. Like so far in Vocal, I've only made $6, but I did get a $5 tip last January that did wind up in my Stripe account. Of course, I don't have a lot of content on the site to generate a lot of income. I'm Mike with WriterSanctuary, and today we're going to go over 30 days of blogging on Vocal to see if it's actually worth it. So this is going to be a two-parter. So starting on Monday, I began writing a new article every day on Vocal, and I'm going to do it for 30 straight days. But there's a few things to keep in mind when I'm writing content on Vocal. A lot of it's similar to what you do in a blog, so it'll be pretty easy to go over it. Number one, it's all about being consistent. Now, your target audience wants to read your work, you need to keep creating it. Then if you start developing fans and followers, they're going to want to see more stuff. Because a lot of people who read blogs don't do so just for the information alone. A lot of people will follow a blog simply because they like the author. And the same thing can be said in Vocal. In fact, that's why a lot of people tip. So we're going to have to be consistent in publishing our content. Number two is that it takes more than one post to really attract an audience. It's rare to create a single blog post, whether you're on Vocal or not, to become instantly successful overnight. Even though there's a lot of things you can do to improve your chances of going viral, it's never a guarantee. And so we can't expect to make tons of money with the first piece. Because like every piece of content on the internet, it takes quite a few pieces before you can actually start generating an income enough to replace a full-time job. This is true whether you're writing on Vocal, blogging, or creating YouTube videos. Number three is to deliver what people want to read. I'm not 100% sure on how the search platform works on Vocal. So I'm going to implement the tried and true methods that I use for finding content that people want to read on the internet. This means a bit of keyword research and looking up some search intent. Why are people looking for certain pieces of information? Am I able to answer a question that someone might have? Vocal might run a little bit differently because of the platform itself, but you never know. And I'm going to be adding a little bit more of my own personality to it because after all, it is kind of a blog with people who create stories. Number four is to promote your work. Because the search criteria for Vocal can only do so much, you might as well share it with your audience. So if you have an account on Twitter or even Facebook, you can instantly share your articles that you write after you're done publishing them. Well, after Vocal publishes them, because they do go through it for quality checks and make sure you're not plagiarizing anything, and eventually wind up publishing the piece. But once it's published, you can go ahead and go through and share it on Twitter or Facebook. Technically, you can grab the URL from the article and share it wherever you want. Step number 5 for this experiment is to decide on whether I want to pick a niche or not. Now, usually niche writers perform the best because, well, they're specialized in their industry. Unfortunately, it's not how my brain works. I bounce all over the place. So for this experiment, I'm picking 3 different niches and I'm going to write 1 article for each one for the next 30 days. That means 10 articles per niche. And with this, I'm going to be doing it on gamers, journal, and probably longevity. Essentially gaming, writing, and fitness. Because all 3 of those topics are holding the most interest for me at the moment. And lastly, the biggest thing that you need to keep in mind is that everybody's experience is going to be different. Sure, I'm going to do a part 2 and let you know how I did over the past 30 days, but it doesn't mean that's the end-all be-all. Because you might create that one piece of content that everybody wants to read and it does wind up going viral. The problem is that you won't know until you actually write it. And that's true no matter what platform you use. Not everybody's going to have the exact same experience across the board. Some YouTubers can just crank out content and collect 1,000 subscribers in a day, where I struggle just to get 40 a month. Not everybody's going to have the same experience. But who knows, I might wind up making a few bucks off of it. And that's the point, is to give it a try. Because you really never know what's going to work out for you until you put in the effort. So, will 1 month make a difference? I don't know, to be honest. I'm not really sure. It all depends on if I can get an audience. And if I can consistently keep writing. Because even though 30 days, that's quite a bit of content, it could just peter out afterwards. So I'll probably keep updating the profile just to see if I can keep with the flow of content going. But it would be kind of nice to know if I hammer out 30 articles, if it really makes that much of a difference. So what's your favorite blogging platform and why? Personally, I'd rather own my own websites, but that's because I have full control over what my website does and how I monetize it. On the other hand, it also means that I have to put in a lot more effort to market the blog and to make sure it's all ready for SEO. In fact, there's a lot of responsibility that comes behind owning your own blog, but I'd rather have that micromanagement aspect and being able to do whatever I want to it. On platforms like Vocal, you have to follow their rules. But I also spend like hundreds of dollars every few years to keep my blogs open, so Vocal's a free platform. If you want to pay I think it's $10 a month for the Vocal Plus, then you get all kinds of benefits to it. But I would still rather use that money to pay for my own website. But you never know. If I may wind up making $10 a month, I'll probably buy it. So if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. For more videos about Vocal, freelance writing, WordPress, text broker, or anything else I cover, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. I think it's going to do it for me today. I'll see you next time.